Joining me now in this Sunday Morning Futures exclusive is Oklahoma Senator and Armed Services Committee member, Senator Markwayne Mullin. Senator, it's great to have you this morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me on. Yep.
And I want to kick things off with what you witnessed firsthand last night in the Senate, because President Trump tweeted that Chuck Schumer was trying to extort his Republican colleagues, extortion on America. Can you tell us what happened as you tried to get across the finish line President Trump's nominees for pretty much, bipartisan people?
Yeah, so first of all, we have 61 nominees that have been voted out of the committee to report to the floor that's got bipartisan support. And President Trump was very engaged for 3 days with myself and a few other members negotiating really the hostage release. I hate to say it that way, but that's what it is, because President Trump's the first president in history not to be able to have one single nominee go through by UC, but that's unanimous consent, or by a voice vote. So we're trying to break the logjam, and the price kept going up. We started at $800 million for pet projects for Schumer, and then they kept raising the number to $1.3 billion. And a lot of this had to do with money going to Gaza, which, keep in mind, Hamas hasn't even released the hostages, but yet they're wanting to send more money to Gaza. And then they kept dropping the number of nominees to the point where President Trump late last night just said, go pound sand. We're not doing this anymore. He's not going to hold the American taxpayer hostage for Chuck Schumer's fear to stand up to his base, because that's what it really is about. It's about he can't figure out how to sell this because he's running scared of AOC running against him, who could probably beat him in a Senate race in New York.
Now, hold on a second, because, look, this is a duly elected president, and his agenda was elected by the American people. So President Trump has an agenda, and he has nominees that he wants to fill those roles to execute that agenda. These people, these 61 people that you're talking about, are all bipartisan, but you just said the price kept going up. I don't understand this, Senator. What do you mean the price kept going? In other words, you have to pay to get President Trump's nominees across and confirmed? I don't get that. What do you mean the price kept going up?
Well, they wanted something in return, and that is negotiating, right? You negotiate a little bit, but they kept changing their price because they never wanted a deal. Now, keep in mind, none of us wanted to work with Biden administration, but we all do feel like that regardless of who the president is, they have the right to put their people in place. And so we held our nose in 2021 and actually struck a deal to be able to allow 44 bipartisan nominees to go through underneath the Biden administration. And which was, unfortunately, we thought we was working like the Senate's supposed to work. What's happened now, their hatred towards President Trump, their fear, literally their fear of their base has allowed them, or has kept them from being able to move forward at all. And so when I say by the price going up, they kept going. You had Elizabeth Warren, you had Brian Schatz, you had Cory Booker demanding them not to work with Republicans at all. Don't work with this president. I mean, my goodness, we saw the rant that Cory Booker had just this week against his own colleagues for working with us on a bipartisan manner. So Schumer kept demanding more because he knew that he would get to the point where we couldn't accept it. And I'm proud of President Trump. I spoke to him this morning, which, by the way, he's watching your show. And he said, I had to walk away. I didn't have a choice. And I said, sir, I'm proud that you did this because we put them on notice and said, we're not going to play games with you anymore. So now you're forcing us to change Senate rules, which honestly, in the long run, is the best thing. So as soon as we get back through this, through the August, we're going to be working on rules change. When we get back, we're going to have to implement those rules change. And it's not our fault. The Democrats are going to scream saying, we're doing the nuclear option. No, Chuck Schumer and the Democrats did the negotiation, or did the nuclear option, because they have filibustered. We have 131 nominees confirmed. They have filibustered every single one of those except Marco Rubio. And I want to compare the difference between where we're at in 2017 to where we're at today, just because I want to show the leadership and the effectiveness of Leader Thune. In 2017, we only had 55 confirmed at the same time. And they weren't filibustering all of them because Thune made it very clear we can do this a hard way or easy way. You remember him saying that at the beginning? They chose to do the hard way, so the Senate has stayed in more consecutive days than we have in 15 years. We've taken more votes than we have in 35 years, and we've confirmed 131 people.
Well, congratulations to you for also a successful 6 months in the Senate executing President Trump's agenda. Schumer wanted NIH money moved, correct?
Right. Yes. Yeah, he wanted to award these schools that have taken advantage of the taxpayer dollars, and these very liberal schools too, and so he wanted a high number for NIH money, which was that's going to be a hard sell, and I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. We're like, nope, we're done. Sorry, we're walking away.
Unbelievable. And we didn't get to Russia and India, but what the president is doing in terms of ensuring India stops buying oil from Russia is something we're watching as well. Senator, it's great to see you. Thanks very much. Markwayne Mullin joining us.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.